Sustainability and resilience as, for many people, one on the top of the others. My opinion is a kind of evolution. It's like 50 years that we have an ideology on sustainability. Sustainability was designed at that time when the economy was growing linear, and the resources was the balancing between the economic growth and the use of resources. But then we have started to see different shock and different crises happening in the economy and the society. And you see the economy was changing from linear to become more up and down. And that required, at the global scale, and even at the city level, to move, my opinion, from sustainability or to upgrade the sustainability approach coming to resilience. Because now it's a timing of the planet boundaries that we have. And one of the main concepts of the city is to be capable to anticipate as much as possible, or to manage in case it happens of crisis. Crisis in different terms, not only in terms of natural resources, but also in terms of, at this stage, let's say, cyber security, so cyber attack, crisis, the social crisis due to the lack of affordable housing or due to the high unemployment rate, as happened in the last few years in the southern Europe, like Italy, Greece, and Spain. Sustainability is much focused on natural resources. Resilience, it's more like a broader approach to the city level. And that makes a city more resilient, that doesn't need to develop a specific solution, but a capability to be ready to anticipate or to manage the crisis. And I'm highlighting this point coming from the sustainability and the climate change background. So I still believe that sustainability is essential in balancing the use of natural resources, and we need to be more sustainable for the future of our earth. So we need to reduce the use of resources and make as much as possible the existing resource circular. That deal like to have a more sustainable economy, but even to reduce the risk, and so to become, as a city, more resilient. Well, 10 years ago, when I was close to end, I worked in Estonia, in Tallinn. My director was Johan Rockström at the time, at the Stockholm Environment Institute, and I have no idea what was resilient at that time. I got a couple of meetings with him because he was based in Stockholm, and I got inspired by this perspective that you don't have to solve problem, but you have to manage problem with integrated approach. Because the risk and the crisis will come back. It's like in life. I mean, one day you are fine, the day after you have the fever, then you are fine, and then maybe after a couple of years the fevers come back, and we need to be capable to manage with it. So what is inspiring me that it's this capability that you have to solve a problem, but more looking at the process and the capability to cope with the problem. But at the same time, resilience is a concept and a word that is used in different domains. They use in engineering, materials engineering, they use in biology, they use in ICT, they use resilience in infrastructures, urban planners love it, resilience. And so it's a common word. Normally, every kind of profession has their own word, and they try to protect themselves from the other, right? But with resilience, they find a common ground. And so that makes me inspiring in trying to make my colleagues, but also the community and the private and the public working together in designing a better future for the city of Milan. I always remember when my grandfather told me about after the Second World War, when all the community, they got close to each other to rebuild the country after the World War. And that is the resilience perception you have and feeling of resilience. When you decide all together, we got the biggest crisis ever in the country in 2008, and now it's time to put together all our capacities and move forward. Resilience is also something that after a tragedy, everybody say we should start from the beginning. Just the later part to start from the beginning. I disagree on that, because in every tragedy there's always a flower that is capable to survive. And that flower is the initial point. In the city, we have now the capability to start from some of our capabilities, we had in the south part of the cities, until a few months ago, there was a big park, and people were drug addicted, but get used to go there. It became a problem, but also a problem in terms of accessibility of a green park, a green area for us. And together with Italia Nostra, that is an environmental association, the municipality has started to clean up. But what happened was that due to the lack of presence in the area, the nature was growing naturally. And he realized that this is becoming like something unbelievable cool, because nature was growing on their own without any kind of like limitation on cleaning the nature. So we decided to clean up all the area with our hands and not with the machine, because we want to preserve what is the chaos in the nature. And this is something that is also important to understand, that sometimes you don't have to clean it or to design a better environment, because the nature itself is capable to manage itself. And the city is quite safe sometimes. Should we always have like a strategy or a vision or well design, or should be like a chaotic or a chaos approach in the proper way being the future of the city? It doesn't mean it doesn't have rules for safety or for healthy cities or something, but why we should always define the limit of something? Can we try to make this flow of innovation and capabilities going on their own? What we can do is how we can enable changing. And we perceive that the city doesn't have to fix a perfect plan, but as makes more an enabler, my role is enabling the changing, the transformation.